Thailand has something of a reputation for tourist scams, and it's a reputation that isn't exactly undeserved. Some scams are years old and have been reported so often that if tourists still fall for them, they really have no one to blame but themselves. Everyone should know by now that if a tuk-tuk driver says a temple is closed for the day, but instead he can take you to a great gem shop that is having a one-off sale today, they should just walk away. And if you're foolish enough to rent a jet ski in Phuket or Pattaya and then get charged for 60,000 bahts worth of damage that was already present, I'm afraid you deserve to lose your money. Then again, Thai scamsters are always thinking up new ruses, and some are very clever. No matter how aware you are of the dangers in Thailand, there is still a chance that you'll become a victim of deception. On my first visit to Thailand many years ago, I was involved in a clever scam that was set up initially when two young students offered to show me and my buddy around Bangkok in return for letting them practice their English with us. To cut a long story short, they got us into a very uncomfortable situation with the driver of a long-tail riverboat taxi, and we had to hand over a significant amount of money just to extricate ourselves. When we analysed it later, we decided that the students had colluded with the taxi driver. Occasionally, I still end up paying more money than is necessary for a product or a service, but generally I don't get scammed. I'm very cynical, I've lived in Thailand for a long time, and I speak a fair amount of Thai. The scam artists are really only interested in tourists, and to a Thai scamster, Thai words coming from the mouth of a farang are like garlic to a vampire. Foreign tourists, most of whom are like fish out of water in Thailand and have zero language skills, are easy pickings for the scammers. But Thais do scam other Thais, and occasionally foreigners also scam Thais in Thailand. It has happened with romance scams, and Thais have fallen victim to get-rich-quick scams. These are normally on an individual level, but the Thai government has also been a victim in the past. Surrounded by countries with prolific illegal drug-making capacity, porous borders, and with a long-running insurgency problem in the Deep South, it is easy to see why Thailand's security services would be keen to invest in the latest technology to help keep the country safe. When Thailand became aware of detection technology from the UK that promised the following features, it was no surprise that there would be a lot of interest despite the high price tag. The price in Thailand started at 900,000 Thai baht and rose to 1.2 million Thai baht, which is approximately 27,500 to 36,700 US dollars at current exchange rates. The devices were claimed to be able to detect ammunition, explosives, drugs, gold, ivory, currency, tobacco, human bodies and more. The claimed range was 700 metres on the surface, 60 metres underground, 800 metres underwater, or in a plane up to an altitude of 4,000 metres. The detection could be carried out through lead-lined and metal walls, in water, in food, in vacuum flasks, in containers, in petrol and diesel fuel, buried in the earth, and in the case of narcotics, drugs could be detected in the body 2 weeks after consumption. Not only that, but these amazing devices required no batteries or external power sources. They were powered solely by the user's static electricity. The manufacturer was very reluctant to give any technical details, but when questioned would explain that they worked on the principle of dire paramagnetism. The UK's reputation as a trusted supplier convinced potential customers that the detectors were high quality products, and at defence trade shows the detectors would often be demonstrated by UK military personnel. Two government agencies, the Defence Export Services Organisation and the Royal Engineers Export Support Team, had been set up to assist UK defence contractors in selling their products abroad. However, it wasn't long before cracks started to appear with the effectiveness of these expensive devices. Basically, they didn't work, and the implications of this particular scam were far more serious than a tourist losing a few thousand baht. Security forces were risking their lives because of the device's failure to detect dangerous items and substances, and false positive detection of narcotics resulted in innocent people being arrested. A ban on the export of these devices to Iraq and Afghanistan was made, and the Mexican authorities were given warnings against continued use. The Thai authorities had become concerned and contacted the British ambassador to Thailand in 2009. Tests were carried out on the devices, and the detection rate was found to be no better than random chance. Testers were not allowed to open the devices to look inside because of confidentiality agreements. When one of the detectors was eventually opened up, it was found to contain 2 pieces of cardboard with a sheet of paper sandwiched in between. The paper was black on one side and white on the other. There were no electronics. The estimated cost of manufacture was around 600 baht. The Thai Army, Air Force, Police, Customs and other departments bought a total of 823 devices at a cost of 900,000 baht to 1.2 million baht each. The UK manufacturer, Global Technical Limited, run by Gary Bolton, had an annual turnover in excess of £3 million at the height of the scam. Some scams I've heard about in Thailand have been clever, but nothing matches this. The empty boxes were no more technically advanced than divining rods, but the exorbitant price they were being sold at made the scammers enormous profits. In 2013, Bolton was sentenced to 7 years in prison. A Thai company, Ava Satcom, was also implicated, and its top executive jailed for 9 years. As far as I'm aware, the Thais didn't get any money back, and the whole episode couldn't have done much good for Thai-Anglo relations. If you want to find out more, there are many more articles on the internet. Thank you for watching.